Welcome to our podcast. Social media addiction. Welcome to today's podcast. Have you ever caught yourself scrolling through your phone without realizing how much time has passed? Maybe it starts with a quick check of your notifications, but then you find yourself watching random videos, reading comments from people you've never met, or endlessly refreshing your feed hoping for something new to appear. It feels innocent at first, harmless even, but then hours slip away, and you wonder where your time went. Social media is everywhere, shaping how we connect, communicate, and even how we view ourselves. It's where we share moments, celebrate milestones, and seek inspiration. But what happens when it stops being a tool we control and starts controlling us instead? What happens when that quick check becomes a routine, and that routine becomes a habit you can't break? Think about the last time you were in a waiting room or standing in line. Did you instinctively pull out your phone? Or when you had a quiet moment at home, did you feel uncomfortable with the silence and immediately start scrolling? That compulsion to fill every gap with digital noise says something about how deeply social media has rooted itself in our lives. There's this odd contradiction we face. Social media promises connection, yet many people feel lonelier than ever. You can have thousands of friends or followers, but none of them truly know what you're going through. Conversations become comments. Relationships become likes, and authentic human connection gets replaced by shallow interactions. And it's not just about loneliness. Social media feeds us curated versions of other people's lives, polished and perfect, making us compare our behind-the-scenes moments to someone else's highlight reel. It creates this endless pressure to be more successful, more attractive, more interesting. And when we don't measure up, it chips away at our self-worth. Then there's the issue of validation. Those little red notifications trigger a dopamine hit in our brains. It feels good to be liked, to be noticed. But the problem is that high never lasts. So we chase the next like, the next comment, hoping to fill a void that social media was never designed to fix. Of course, I'm not saying social media is all bad. It has the power to inform, inspire, and connect. It gives a voice to people who might not otherwise be heard. But we have to ask ourselves, are we using it with intention, or are we letting it use us? When was the last time you went a whole day without checking your phone? Just one day. No notifications, no scrolling, no checking who liked your latest post. The thought of it might even make you uncomfortable. And that discomfort is telling. It reveals how dependent we've become on this digital world. Some people justify it by saying it's their way of staying informed or connected. But there's a difference between staying informed and being overwhelmed, between meaningful connections and mindless scrolling. If you're constantly seeking distraction, maybe it's time to ask yourself, what are you avoiding? What thoughts or feelings are you pushing away? Sometimes we drown ourselves in social media to escape boredom, sadness, or even anxiety. But those feelings don't disappear. They just wait in the background, unresolved. Imagine what life could be like if you reclaimed even half the time you spend on social media. What could you learn? What relationships could you nurture? What dreams could you chase? It's not about deleting every app or disconnecting entirely. It's about finding balance, using social media as a tool rather than letting it dictate your day, setting boundaries that protect your time and energy. One way to start is by creating intentional breaks. Maybe it's putting your phone in another room when you're having dinner, or setting a time limit for your daily usage. Small steps that remind you that you're in control, not the algorithm. Another approach is to question what you're consuming. Is it adding value to your life, or is it just noise? Follow accounts that inspire and uplift you. And don't be afraid to unfollow those that make you feel less than enough. And perhaps most importantly, remember that your worth isn't measured by likes or followers. It's measured by the love you give, the kindness you show, and the impact you have on the people around you. Social media can amplify those things, but it can never replace them. So the next time you reach for your phone out of habit, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, why am I doing this? What am I hoping to find? And is there something more meaningful I could be doing instead? Life happens in the present, in those unscripted, messy moments that can't be captured by a filter. Don't miss out on it because you're too busy living through a screen. Thank you for spending this time with me today. I hope this conversation has given you something to think about. Remember, you're in control of your time and your attention. Choose wisely. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and give it a thumbs up. Also, feel free to share your thoughts or any questions you have in the comments below.